A shadow covers the palace tonight. Hospital files that were supposed to stay hidden have burst into daylight, and every line seems to scream that the story of Archie's birth was never as pure as Meghan claimed.
I thought this cannot be real.
The reason I didn't think it was AI is because it looks like the stomach is fake, where the baby, I swear that's...
A courier walked into an encrypted forum at dawn and dropped 3 blurry photos that shook the internet like a quake. In one-click private notes, payment logs, and a nurse signature ended up on millions of screens. No one knows why the courier chose that hour, yet the timing could not have been sharper because dawn meant prime time in the States and lunch rush in London, giving the leak maximum heat. The first image shows an intake sheet stamped "Mother Not Admitted" in bold red letters. Under that line sits a patient number that does not match Meghan's official record. A nurse note at the bottom claims patient unseen, proxy present. Viewers freeze the picture and zoom every inch, hunting for any clue. The torn edge of the page suggests someone ripped it out in panic. That rough edge alone sparks new doubts. Why would a real hospital record look so ragged? The second image lists a payment made at 7:30 that morning. The payee name is blacked out, but the amount shines bright at £600,000. A separate line reads special services, and another says confidential suite. Critics cry that no normal birth costs that sum unless extra silence was part of the price. Supporters argue wealthy parents often book entire wings for privacy, so the total might not be strange. Still, the huge number sends rumors racing faster than heat across dry grass.
So are you saying that he's 2 weeks older? And so I thought maybe that would allow time to wean the baby away from a birth mother if a surrogate was used. It would make sense, but instead of lying to the world, why not just say, we want a baby, we're having a baby, and we're using a surrogate.
That very much seems that there is a complete unwillingness to make sacrifices for the family, particularly in public or anything else. So I think when you believe you're the main character, you don't need to make sacrifices. Everybody should see how important you are, and they should listen to you, and what you have to say is, the be what everybody pays attention to. So
the third image is the most explosive. A signature box sits empty where Meghan's electronic approval should appear. Instead, someone scribbled 2 shaky initials that do not match any name on record. Under the initials, a printed line states, "Verified by staff." That clash turns simple gossip into a possible fraud case. If Meghan never signed, then who did? And why did staff let a stranger complete the chart? Morning talk shows bring on experts who fire guesses like fireworks. By noon, the leak is everywhere. Cable anchors loop the 3 photos, while banners flash words like forgery and cover up. One legal analyst warns that if the documents prove real, then the Sussexes could face charges for false registration. Another analyst argues the leak itself is criminal theft of private data. The clash feeds ratings. Channels book fresh panels every hour. Viewers grab popcorn because the show never pauses. Outside the media bubble, ordinary people ask a simpler question. Did Meghan carry Archie or not? Some defend her fiercely, saying public pressure forced extreme privacy. Others accuse her of staging a fairy tale while hiding a secret womb. The split turns friends into enemies. Even strangers on trains join debates that grow hotter with every new post. Inside Frogmore Cottage, the mood is said to be ice cold. Harry paces each hall, calling lawyers and demanding to know who leaked the files. Meghan keeps a calm face yet tightens device security. Aides collect phones at the door and run signal jammers near private rooms. A nanny walks Archie to the garden so he will not hear raised voices, yet the lawn lies within earshot of reporters' drones. Across the Atlantic, the story grabs morning shows in New York, Chicago, and Los Angeles. Producers race to book body language experts, royal historians, and digital sleuths who promise to break down every pixel. One host weighs a printed image and points at a faint smudge, claiming it looks like hospital letterhead from Santa Monica instead of London. Another guest claims the paper stock is thicker than typical UK forms. Each clue spins the mystery further. Back in London, the palace press office shifts into emergency mode. Staff draft a statement calling the leak fake and dangerous, yet they stop short of proof. They urge the public to respect privacy, but the plea sounds hollow when reporters can smell blood in the water. An advisor suggests releasing a new photo of Archie with his birth certificate, but senior aides fear any document now will be labeled forged by doubters. Crowds soon gather outside Buckingham Gate holding signs that read "Show the proof." Some chant while raising phone lights, turning the evening road into a sea of small stars. Police place barriers, yet allow peaceful protest. One woman in a knitted crown lifts a poster with a single word in bright red: DNA. She says truth is heavy, but lies are heavier, so she marched to watch which weight the crown carries tonight. Inside late-night pubs across Mayfair, insiders trade whispers over warm beer. A hedge fund manager claims to have seen a sealed affidavit that proves a surrogate birth and bets £1,000 on it. A retired courier laughs and says the entire leak is a clever deepfake cooked up by rival media. Their voices drop when a junior banker reads a new update that federal agents want to trace the £600,000 transfer because the money crossed borders without tax report. The bar falls silent as the scale sinks in. On social platforms, the hashtag #ShowTheDocs races past 2 million posts in 8 hours. TikTok creators stitch the images into rapid slideshows while dramatic music booms in the background. Twitter threads break down font styles, ink spread, and printer marks as if the fate of the monarchy depends on office supply trivia. Every new frame adds fuel to the bonfire, and no one seems ready to step away from the glow. Viewers refresh news feeds without blinking because the next ping might shift the story again. Dawn breaks with sirens of urgency ringing through newsrooms. Palace spokespeople race to cameras, insisting the files are forged, yet each statement lands like a pebble against a tidal wave. Reporters demand to know why no one will release the original birth file if there is nothing to hide. The official line repeats the word privacy, but critics say privacy is not a shield when public trust is cracked. Legal teams leap into action. One firm in London files an injunction to block further sharing of the images, claiming they violate data law. Yet before the ink on the plea can dry, copies spread to new servers in Prague, Singapore, and Toronto. Anonymous coders set up mirrors that hop every hour. A cat chase begins, and every failed takedown notice feels like proof that the palace fears the truth. Behind closed doors, King Charles calls an emergency summit with the Home Secretary. They discuss a rare option: demand the hospital release full patient logs from the week Archie was born. Advisors warn the move could trigger more leaks if any entry seems odd. The king rubs his temples, trapped between clearing the air and opening fresh wounds. Meanwhile, in American Morning, host reveals a fresh bombshell. A nurse who worked the maternity wing that week has agreed to speak on live television from an undisclosed location. The nurse claims she handled a newborn tagged baby Sussex, but never saw Meghan in the ward. She remembers a luxury SUV arriving at a side door and a woman in loose clothing carrying the infant toward a helicopter pad minutes later. The interview airs in front of 10 million viewers. Gasps ripple across time zones. Social media erupts again. Hashtag helicoptermom soars to trend number 1. Memes show cartoon helicopters dropping baby blankets over Buckingham. Influencers record reaction videos that hit 1 million views before lunch. Brands slide ads under each clip because the scandal has become its own market. Harry feels cornered. He phones 2 old army friends and asks if they can help track the leak source. They remind him they left active service years ago. Harry slams the desk. Meghan meets with a crisis publicist who used to work for Hollywood stars in Meltdown. The publicist suggests a daring move. Produce Archie for a live paternity test on neutral ground, maybe a trusted children's hospital with press present. Meghan's eyes narrow. Such a step might end rumors, but could scar their son. She cannot decide. While decisions stall, investigators in California chase the bank trail. Records show a brand new account opened under the name Rosemary Blank Seconds before the £600,000 transfer. The address linked to the account matches a short-term rental home near Malibu that sat vacant after Archie's birth. Detectives knock on neighbors' doors and learn a pregnant woman moved in for 2 months, kept curtains drawn, and left in a black van days after Archie was introduced to the world. The pieces start to look less random and more like a map. Independent fact-checkers try to calm the storm. They note official UK birth registration lists Meghan as mother, and no court has challenged that record. Yet their careful words sink in the flood of thrilling rumors. People want a tale, not a spreadsheet. The click drives the story faster than reason can keep up. Sponsors pull away from the Sussex brand app. A wellness drink company pauses a big campaign plan for next week, citing need for clarity. A podcast network quietly removes banner ads for Meghan's leadership series. Money starts to tremble even before facts settle. In Parliament, some lawmakers mutter that privacy laws need review. Others argue the leak shows the system already shields the powerful too much. Debates spark loud enough to echo down marble halls. Yet none of the speeches answers the core mystery. Was a surrogate paid to stay quiet? Or are we watching the largest royal hoax since fake diaries shook an abdication love story? Late afternoon, an email lands in multiple inboxes. It contains a fourth image, darker and grainier than the first three. The photo appears to show a discharge summary signed by Dr. Valerie Chen, a name journalists cannot match to any staff at the London hospital listed. The summary includes the line "mother condition, stable though mother never occupied a bed." Analysts highlight mismatched font spacing that hints at digital tampering. Still, the new image blows across screens like tumbleweed in desert wind. Meghan's lawyers fire back with a statement. They will sue any outlet that publishes the fourth image. Within an hour, at least 10 sites already have it live and full size. The lawyers threaten, the sites double down, claiming public interest. The dance between privacy and public curiosity grows wilder by the minute. Outside the hospital itself, reporters camp on sidewalks. A security guard hands out bottled water to keep them from fainting in the heat. Nurses leaving shifts skirt the cameras, eyes down. One nurse finally mutters that the files look nothing like the format used in the ward. She refuses to say more, but her few words spark fresh videos titled "Insider Confirms Fake Docs." As the evening colors the sky purple, a private investigator claims on a podcast that he located the surrogate. He will reveal her initials tomorrow at noon London time. Listeners race to post theories. Some pick random women who once visited yoga retreats with Meghan. Others name an actress who resembles Archie. The guesses swirl like leaves in a storm. Pressure mounts on Harry and Meghan to address the nurse's live interview. Their team drafts 3 possible speeches, 1 calm denial, 1 emotional plea, and 1 bold plan for DNA testing. Each draft goes through revisions downtown and flies back to Frogmore for approval. Midnight nears, yet no final decision lands. 2 press advisors plead to pick any path before sunrise. Silence has become the loudest sound of all. The town clock strikes 1 when a sudden alert flashes on every device. The investigator who promised a reveal has dropped a teaser video. He stands in shadow and holds up a folded birth plan that lists pain control methods and alternate contact numbers. At the top, a scrawled name reads S blank, and the due date matches Archie's birthday. He vows to unmask the parent behind that initial within 11 hours. Viewers flood comment sections, begging for more. Meghan wakes at 4 feeling the walls shrink. She walks the corridor past framed pictures of happier tours and pauses by Archie's room. The boy sleeps clutching a small dinosaur toy. Meghan leans against the doorframe, wondering how long before he asks her why strangers shout about his birth online. A tear rolls down her cheek, only to vanish when she remembers cameras can catch sadness through curtained windows. She wipes her face and steals her voice. At 7, a crisis meeting gathers in the West drawing room. Harry, 2 legal teams, a digital security expert, and a retired PR guru sit around a low table loaded with croissants no one touches. The PR guru insists nothing short of transparent proof will stop the storm. Harry clenches his fist. Meghan demands time to think. The expert shows fresh data. Searches for surrogate Archie truth spike higher each hour. If they wait another day, the narrative may set like wet cement. Across town, a lab technician receives an order for rapid DNA kits. Social service rules require both parents to consent for a minor's test. The palace courier who brings the order says consent forms will arrive soon, but staff still whisper that the kits mean the couple may accept the bold plan. A rumor spreads that the Queen urged them to protect the crown by ending doubt fast. While labs prepare cotton swabs, the investigators count down near 0. On live stream, he reveals a name. Susan Rose Butler, 35, former fitness trainer from Santa Barbara. He flashes 2 photos. One shows her 8 months pregnant, walking a sunny pier in loose dress. The second shows her leaving a private jet 2 weeks after Archie was born, pushing a stroller covered by a blue blanket. The chat explodes with fire emojis and claims a victory. Minutes later, Susan Rose Butler posts a statement online. She says, "I have never met the Duke and Duchess, and I was not pregnant in 2019. I gained weight for a film role." She shares a gym selfie taken the day after the peer photo, showing a flat belly. Commentators split again. Some call the investigator a grifter who preyed on rumor. Others insist her denial proves she took money. At 2, Harry speaks on camera outside Frogmore. He stands alone to reduce distraction. His voice trembles yet stays firm. He says the rumors hurt our family, but our love is strong. We will take every legal step to stop theft of private records. We ask the world to remember a child stands at the heart of the storm. Reporters shout questions about DNA, but Harry walks back inside without reply. The brief moment still trends #1 by tea time. Hours later, the lab technician confirms swabs arrived along with signed consent. The courier seals the samples in tamper tape and drives toward the lab under police escort to deter paparazzi chases. Harry and Meghan step onto their lawn with Archie between them and wave at distant lenses. Archie blows bubbles that drift across the grass. The bubbles rise, bright and fragile, shining for a second before they vanish into open air.